guy because all my generation before me, I am the seventh generation of the family caring about Regagliali. They all made a great job, and they, I can say, make a better agriculture in the state, a better viticulture, and my grandfather did a great job to bottle for the first time the wine in the early 50s. And so we are trying to continue his work, never happy of what we do, trying to improve every day, sometimes making mistakes, sometimes making good things, but never stops, never sit down, always trying to do our best.
And mostly you use the local grapes of Sicily, right?
Yes.
But I heard a story about it was your grandfather. He didn't want you to plant any international or French varieties.
Yes, it was my grandfather, but it wasn't me. It was my father, arguing with him. But you know, it's we always said traditional grape varieties, and then we were the first in Sicily to put some international grape like Cabernet and Chardonnay. And these were really not good for my grandfather. He didn't want it at all, but was very good for the market. I remember the first time I was in New York selling a Nero d'Avola. They look at me and say, "You are Sicilian? You are selling Nero d'Avola? Oh, get right out of here! I don't have time for you." And next time, after 10 years, I came with a Cabernet. I said, "I'm a Sicilian guy, wine producer. I have some Cabernet." And they said, "Cabernet? Okay, let's try." So it was like a tool for us to get in the best restaurant, and all the good wine fans could know Sicilian wine, could know our brand, and then with this weapon, we introduced all our traditional variety.
That's very good.
So that was, I think, a smart way to do that.
Yeah.
And now, we don't have any reason to promote Cabernet and Chardonnay. We only do some niche wine with it, that just to make people taste a Cabernet from Sicily, and then they can compare that with wine from all over the world.
But I must say, we tasted your Chardonnay today,
Yeah.
and it was not. If I had it blind, I would never say Chardonnay. It's very personal, it's very characterful, and it's very typical your style, I think. It's very elegant, very classic, and it has the structure, but it's very well integrated.
Yeah, I think it's a Sicilian Chardonnay. We don't try to copy nobody. We don't do any style of Chardonnay. We try to respect the vintages and the land where we belong to, and the most important thing, we always try to be clean in the working. So we always aim on all the wine we do is to be clean, not have any strange nose, any strange taste, any Brettanomyces, any things that can waste the original taste of the raw materials.
And the fantastic Rosso del Conte, I think I have always loved that wine, and it's so, when it develops, when it gets matured, it gets so fantastic minerality. The 07 we tried today has this wonderful minerality and very, very elegant balance, and everything is just apart. I mean, it's nothing.
It's not an easy wine to make. It's a very nice and old vineyard from 1959. My grandfather started to make this wine in 1970. I just made the vertical tasting from 1979 to the youngest one, and it was very. I can say I had the emotion from it. Even it was quite a long time that I didn't make any vertical tasting of it. It developed in aging in a pretty way, and it's always alive, and so it's a wine that can age really properly. And we try to make a distinctive wine that respects the place where we belong to, and we hope people like it. But because it's a wine that we like it, it's pretty easy for us to promote it.
Yeah. And tell me about the grapes.
Well, we have a Nero d'Avola. It's one of the most important grapes that we have in the state, and obviously it's the most important of Rosso del Conte. Then we have another traditional grape called Perricone. that I think it will be the grape where we will focus in the future, because it's very interesting and lower color but good acidity, good pepper, black pepper on the nose, very distinctive, and it's very typical of our area. And that's what is made the Rosso del Conte.
And I also like that the first wine we had, the Insolia
Yes, and the Sauvignon, l'Oxydol.
Sauvignon, that's really interesting and very characterful, really creamy on the texture.
Yes,
I think.
creamy and full of minerality, also
Yeah.
a little bit salty.
really
It's one I love. Maybe one of the one I'm much more close to, because it was made for the big anniversary of wedding of my grandfather and my grandmother, and my grandfather did this one with trying to select the best we had to make with the traditional grapes, long aging wine, and he did a great job, and we are trying to preserve his idea and make it better every year.
And when was the first vintage of this wine?
84.
84.
Yes.
Oh,
Only
I like
only
it.
84 we did only 1,000 bottles
Okay.
for the party we
Yeah,
had.
just for the party.
Yeah.
That's lovely. So thank you very much.
Thanks to you and
A
cheers.
toast. And thank you for tasting everyone.